Goodness makes badness go away. Goodness makes badness go away. And there's goodness in your heart. Goodness makes the badness go away. Goodness makes the badness go away. Goodness makes the badness go away. Problems cannot start when there's goodness in your heart. Goodness makes the badness go away. A big to do about this Christmas. Making a big to do about it all. Shopping. It's our favorite time of the year. Holiday cheer. And the world is believing that mistletoe feeling. It's our favorite time of the year. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you could even see it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then how the reindeer loved him, and they all shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. Frosty the snowman was a jolly happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman was as jolly as he can be. All the children know that he comes for you and me. Hmm. jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in one horse open sleigh, dashing through the snow in a one horse open sleigh. All the all the things we go, laughing all the way, ha ha ha. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What it sing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. In a city of justice, city of love, in a city of peace for every one of us. 'Cause we all know it, can't live without it. Gotham City, oh yeah. In a city of justice, city of love, in a city of peace, every one of us. We all know it, can't live without it. Gotham City, oh yeah. In a city of justice, city of love, in a city of peace, every one of us. But we all know it, can't live without it. Gotham City, Oh yeah. In a city of justice, in a city of love, in a city of peace, every one of us, 'cause we all know it, can't live without it. Gotham City, oh yeah. Gotham City, Gotham City. See, well, we're at 6.5 minutes. Give them till the 10-minute mark, then I'm gonna get going here. Hmm. Never turns it back on the fray. Always Sailor Moon. It would seem that ah, let's see now. Well, we're under 1 minute to go. Just past the 9-minute mark. So I guess I'll start. So on tonight's episode of the Mikestand, we got 4 stories for you guys. Um, have some Attack on Titan news, some Sailor Moon news, as well as as well as say some news in regards to Batman, as well as some IDW and Toho news. So we can right to that shortly here, as we're about to take it to the mic stand. And there we go. We're at the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to get going here and start getting into these articles. So we have, as we said, we had 4 stories tonight. First story I'm going to cover here is Attack on Titan. The Attack on Titan story. Attack on Titan faces revived accusations of being anti-Semitic and fascist propaganda. Oh boy, here we go. Let's see what they have to say now here. Attack on Titan has once again found itself under fire, this time by fans on Twitter, the Twit Brigade, um, who have revived accusations that the series is nothing more than an anti Semitic and fascist propaganda. Nothing more than anti Semitic. On November 24th, Twitter user at Niyuku Tagawa's posted a thread promoting No Nuance November Anime Edition, an anime themed spin on a social media trend which asks users to post their honest and straightforward opinions on certain topics. Among the tweets was one presenting Attack on Titan for opinion, which near immediately garnered an overwhelming amount of responses, accusing both the series and mangaka, or the manga art, I guess the manga writer artist, Hajime Isayama, of promoting anti-Semitism and fascist attitudes. So here's some artwork right here from from the from Attack on Titan. Con, Cront, Contrasting Pen shared their opinion that this anime sucks primarily because the author is anti Semitic and reflects said anti Semitism in this show manga, and added that the first season was just generally boring as bleep, and I couldn't get past episode 11. I sometimes wonder what these people, how these people find this stuff. What is this stuff grounded in? Because I think most fans of the show would disagree with these people very vehemently that it is not anti-Semitic. It's like you know, I how is anything for that matter? How is anything in the manga or in the anime even related to Judaism? It's like I don't get it because I don't see it. I think most sane people don't see it. Uh, this bleep is fascist propaganda, and people still act like that's not a problem. Laugh out loud. Wrote, well, again, how? How is it fascist propaganda? At Nenby's claimed that the series was dumb, trashy fun until Irwin's death. Then boom, anti-Semitism, misogyny, homophobia, and the whole package. And shared their desire to email Isayama, please don't ever write or think of ideas. These people are freaking nuts. Absolutely nuts. These people, the Quit Brigade belongs in an insane asylum. Yeah, so, anyways, as we continue on with the story here, One user at Karl Marx Apika, oh God, felt so strongly um, that the series promoted such themes that they wished they could go back in time and convince Isayama's mom to abort. Oh God. It's kind of fun. The funny thing about this turkey here is that this guy is saying that the mangaka is anti-Semitic, yet and fascist, and yet in his act there, he basically is promoting somebody who was known for being fascist and anti-Semitic. You know, so at Mark Sismus claimed the series contained German nationalism mixed with fascist under. Okay, again, how? How? In response to fans sharing their positive feelings toward the series, at um, Sorry Butch, okay, that's an interesting name, accused them of wanting to watch imperialist propaganda so bad it makes you look stupid. Oh, freaking, oh boy. The Twit Brigade is out in force tonight, folks. These accusations towards Attack on Titan are nothing new, as the series has been a popular target for similar interpretations for some time. I mean, the only thing I could theoretically see them even coming close to having, I mean, there's nothing in the story or anything like that that would even suggest what they're saying here. And they're not really giving any clear examples of what they're talking about. It sounds like another, wine fest. Wine! Attack on Titan is fascist, anti-Semitic! Wah, wah, wah! But yet they give no actual examples of how it's supposed to be fascist or anti-Semitic. You know, maybe because the uniforms are gray or kind of a dingy brown or gray or whatever. Maybe that's what they think fascist looks like. But hey, I don't know. You know, these accusations towards Attack on Titan are nothing new. Okay, we did read. Okay, in support of their claims of apologia, fascism apologia, critics often point to how the series portrays the oppression of the Eldian people, which parallels the treatment of Jews during the real world Holocaust of World War II. The author's own nationalist sentiments. Okay, so they keep pointing out the way the people are oppressed in the series. Well, newsflash, that's going to happen anyway. You know, generally speaking, that happens in any kind of like war or apocalyptic type scenario. You do have, it doesn't matter. It's not just anti-Semitic. I mean, it's any situation like that where there's a war going on, whether it's just a war for property or a war for survival, you know, you're not always going to treat your enemies. Granted, in after World War II, there was such a thing as the Geneva Convention and stuff like that, you know, which governed how you're supposed to treat prisoners. But you think a lot of people are gonna, you think in a real war situation, most people are going to, if it's a war, if it's like a war for survival, you really think people are going to worry about how they're treating their prisoners? You know, it's unfortunately not anti-Semitic. It's just anti-human. Period. You know, but their point is how they're being treated. Well, that's how prisoners of wars are always treated. It doesn't matter if you're Jewish, Christian, black, white, red, brown, yellow, polka dot, man, beast, fowl, fauna, fish. It's like that's war. That's the nature of sin right there. Um, and I'm still talking to myself. Uh, let's see. Even though the author's own nationalist sentiments, the way they try to make that sound is saying that nationalism is inherently evil, but that's not necessarily true either. Just like a lot of things, nothing is, most things are not solely good or evil. They just are. Nationalism is not solely evil. It's not solely good either. It just is. As seen in his apparent downplaying of Japanese war crimes and the influence of German Japanese militaries on the visual aesthetics um, of the series military forces, particularly how Dot Pixis is directly based on Imperial Japanese Army General Yoshifuru Akiyama. Okay, so let's look at that. So the author's own nationalist sentiments, as seen in his apparent downplaying of Japanese war crimes and the influence of German and Japanese militaries on the visual aesthetics of the series military forces, particularly in how. Okay, what is one person's war criminal is another's national hero. Okay, what is one person's war criminal is another's national hero. Okay, there's an old saying I'm reminded of history is written by the victors, which is essentially true. You know, you know, again, nationalism is not inherently wrong. Taking it to extremes, like a lot of things, can lead you down darker paths. But I go back to what I just said. What is one person's war criminal is another's national hero. I think that here in the states, granted, unfortunately, we do have some stupid people here, but who think otherwise, but those who were, you know, when we fought for independence back in 1776, you know, as Americans, we look at ourselves as heroes. As we saw ourselves as we saw ourselves as freedom fighters. We saw ourselves as getting away from an oppressive, you know, monarch. The British at the time looked at us as rebels, being disloyal. You know, in the eyes of the Brits, we were criminals. In our own eyes, we were heroes. So you should take that into consideration before giving such critique here. What is one person's war criminal is another's national hero. Oh, somebody finally came in. Hey, hey, folks. How's the stream popping? Well, I'm the only one who's here at ATC. I've been talking about this article from Attack on Titan. So I've got 4 stories tonight, 2 from the anime and 2 from comics. That reading through this Attack on Titan story. I got another Sailor Moon story after it, and then I've also got a story on Batman and IDW. So I got like 4 stories tonight. Um, I see. I see that. Where's all the guys? I don't know. I don't know. Well, I know Leto, and anonymity may be at work or maybe either en route or coming back from work. I don't know about Backo. Maybe as people were speculating, he's spending time with his family. I do know there are a couple other streams going on of significance, like Anime Met Series doing its stream right now. So, um, but I don't know where everybody is. Don't know about Woody either. So um, unless of course there's something going on with the notifications or something like that. You don't think the Jana thing scared off all the other mods? I I don't really think so because anonymity and Batgoat were here um when all that, as you know, because you went back and watched the stream. um they were here when all that was going down. So I don't think that scared them off. I have no reason to believe. And thank you for the like and the share there. Um, Appreciate it. Maybe, hopefully, we can start getting some more people in here. But I don't really. And Woody, I don't think was really bothered by that either. And that wouldn't be the case because remember, anonymity and Woody were here last night. In fact, I believe there is something up with notifications. Um, I've had people tell me um, they're not getting my notice. Yeah, that's why I was asking you guys a couple weeks ago. I mean, did you got you? And I know for me on my own stream share, my notifications come a little late too. Sometimes they like I think I got the notification for last night's stream like this morning. So something may be goofy going on. But then again, even if that's the case, everybody knows that I do this fairly regularly. So, um, and I was looking too, and like, um, some of the views are not necessarily always all from notifications. Some of the views are from other aspects. See, I didn't get a notif for Leto's stream. I only found it as I was going to say hello, and the stream ended. Yeah, that does seem to be. That does seem to be. You know, but then, but again, I know people know that I stream fairly regularly at the same time, and and I of course share it on Facebook. I share it on Parlor. I share it on Discord, and some of the guys are in Discord, but not any of the mods are on. Well, you're the only mod who I have in Discord, so maybe when they get here tonight, we'll ask them if they're getting the notifications or not. And I know Backgoat. I know he said he'll sometimes be with family and stuff like that. But and again, Wednesday and Thursday with him. Well, Wednesday he comes late because he goes and does trivia. He has a trivia night, so that's why he comes in late. And Anonymity, I know, gets in usually late, because he's usually getting home from work. And Leto, he drops in, but and then usually Woody Thursday nights, he's not always here on Thursday nights. So, but Woody was here. Woody and Anonymity were both here last night. So was Leto, and so were you. So, um, but maybe I'll. The administrator in that group I was talking about asked me to send you an invite, but I don't know your Facebook pro. Um, yeah, I guess like from what I saw, I don't necessarily see it being of too interest to me, but maybe I will go ahead and just I will go ahead and just like the page, and that way at least then. All right. I just sent the request to join the group, so I guess we'll wait and see. Um, yep. Oh, third person just came in. Hello, third person. Good networking thing for YouTubers. Yeah. I guess you got a point. I mean, even with the collectors there, they still might find something of interest. Granted, I'm not as much on the toy collecting side of it. I'm more into collecting the knowledge. Like watching cartoons and stuff like that. But I don't like. I'm not really a big like toy or merchandise collector myself. So, but you do make a good point. It's a good networking thing. Maybe if I start putting it up there, maybe people from there will want to come in and check me out. And anyways, got three people in here now, so I'll get back to this story. Um, you're an info guy. People will love it. I hope so. Um, So, anyways, back to the let's see, back to the story here. Basically, this Attack on Titan article is saying that the Twit Brigade is out again. This time claiming that that Attack on Titan is anti-Semitic and fascist. That's the gist of what this article's been saying. Woody, hello, Mike, ATC. Hey, Woody. Let me ask you this. Have you been getting notifications for my channel? We're just talking about that. Hey, Woody. Excuse me a moment. I go off camera. We were just talking about that. Yes, I've been getting the notifications. That's a pretty disturbing picture you have up on the screen right now. Yeah, well, I'm going through an article about Attack on Titan. The Twit Brigade's out again, claiming Attack on Titan is anti-Semitic and fascist. Um, Attack on Titan is an anime, of course. Let's see. Haha, that was my voice recognition on the phone, hearing you saying we were just talking about that. Uh, yeah, so the only reason I was asking Woody is because ATC and I were just talking about not because it seems like the people aren't cut. Last couple of days here, people have I was by myself for like almost the first half hour into the show, I think, and then ATC finally showed up, and like I know some of the guys come in late anyways, but Backcode hasn't been in the last couple of days. And ATC was asking me if maybe the whole thing with Jana the other night scared the mods off, but I don't think that's the case because I know Backcoat and Anonymity were here during all that going down, but um, I don't think that would have scared them off though. But anyways, back to the Attack on Titan story. So the accusations of anti-Semitism similarly stem from the plight of the Eldian people, whose aforementioned oppression leads to them being forcibly transformed by King Karl Fritz into the monstrous and eponymous Titans, um, whose monstrous appearances critics claim reinforces offensive characters of Jewish people. Now, couple of points I've been making throughout this article as I've been giving commentary on it, is that this isn't this isn't just a Jewish thing or anti-Jewish thing. This is an anti-human thing. Okay, because whether you're in a war for land or food or survival, no matter what the war you're in, you know, prisoners of war are going to get treated badly. You know, and the other point being is one person's war criminal is another's national hero. You know, that's what these twit heads don't seem to get a lot of times. You know, they're trying to use anti-Semitism as some kind of just whining point. To argue that nationalism is bad. Nationalism is not inherently good or bad, it just is. Nothing wrong with being proud of your country. There's nothing wrong with seeing your country in a heroic light. You know, but I come back to the point that I made earlier in the video before you guys got on. One person's war criminal is another's national hero. In war, prisoners of war always get treated badly. You know, not just badly, sometimes the most evil of ways. Because what is war? War is that thing that drives people towards trying to gain more power. So, anyways, back to the story here. However, Isayama's personal political opinions aside, as the series does not itself specifically speak to any of these issues, these criticisms routinely ignore how not only are the Eldian people portrayed as the heroes of the story, with their struggle against the Marleans portrayed as a justified battle against their oppressors, but also that the xenophobia and fear that led to their horrific treatment is considered to be an atrocity both in universe and by readers. Good point there. That guy made a very good point there. It's like almost like SJWs have this thing where, well, if it's making a lot of money, it must be bad. If it's popular, it must be bad. Everything must be mediocre. I think that's the SJW mindset right there. No one should have the right to have more than anybody else. Everybody just flat out have the same thing as everybody, even if you don't absolutely need it. You know, if one person's a millionaire, everybody should be a millionaire. If one person's a billionaire, everybody should be a billionaire. Life, that's just not life though. That's you try to force that, and it's gonna blow up in your face faster than you can say Mississippi. So yeah. As written by Bounding into Comics in 2019, while the Eldians do in fact face constant bigotry due to their heritage, and it is apparent that the dynamic between the Eldians and the Marley government draws many parallels with the fascistic treatment of the Jewish people in Nazi Germany. To call the series anti Semitic speaks to a grossly misrepresented and binary view of the story. Again, another good viewpoint because it's not just a fascism thing. Okay, it's not just an anti-Jew thing. It's not just Nazi Germany thing. It's a it's a sin thing. It's an evil thing, okay? And it doesn't matter. Everybody is capable of being evil because that's the nature of sin. We are inherent. We are, you know, at least what most Christians believe is that we're born, you know, with a sinful nature. We're essentially born evil. As human beings, we are capable of being very evil. It's just that for the most part, we choose not to be. We struggle against those impulses. And for the most part, we succeed. Some people not as much as others, but you know. What do you make of these accusations against Attack on Titan? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. Well, what do you guys think of that? Well, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Attack on Titan, or if you have watched Attack on Titan, do you believe it to be anti-Semitic or fascist? I'm assuming you guys know what anti-Semitic means. Let's see. I'm just waiting to see if you guys will comment on that. I don't know if you, and I'll ask this again. If you guys have seen Attack on Titan, do you find it to be anti-Semitic or fascist? And if you do, why? And of course, if you guys haven't already, if you can like and share the stream to see if we can get some more people in, that would be of some great help. Well, all right, going once, going twice, moving on. All right, so the next story we're going to look at is Sailor Moon story. You got from from left to right there. You got Ray Hino, Sailor Mars, Amy Mizuno, um, Sailor Mercury, Serena, aka Usagi Tsukino, um, Sailor Moon, um, Chibi Usa, aka Little Rabbit or Little or Rini, aka Sailor Mini Moon, um, Makoto Kino, aka Lita, aka Sailor Jupiter, and Minato Aino, aka Mina, aka Sailor Venus. Rumor: SAG listing reveals Netflix producing Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie English dub. SAG, for those of you who don't know, I'm guessing is the Screen Actors Guild. Um, I'm going to go off camera for a moment. I'll be right back. I'm going to hurry along here. Okay, so here we go with the next story then here. A production listing on the official website for the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA Union, has revealed that Netflix will be producing the English dub for Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie. There's a picture of Sailor Moon right there. Sailor Moon! A direct sequel to the Sailor Moon Crystal anime series, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie, adapts the manga, the manga's dream arc, and follows the Sailor Scouts as they battle to prevent the evil Queen Nihil- Nihilinia and her mysterious Dead Moon Circus from acquiring the silver crystal, lest she unleash its power and conquer the galaxy. The first in a two-part film series, Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie, was originally slated to premiere in Japan on September 11th, 2020. Oh boy. But in light of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, saw its release pushed back to January 8th, 2021. And there's a picture, and I think we saw this promo picture the other day too. Sailor Moon and Queen Nalina right there. Despite its release date delays, a recent entry in the SAG-AFTRA signatory database discovered by the aptly named Sailor Moon news outlet Sailor Moon News indicates that efforts to localize the film have continued to move forward unabated, um, as according to the database entry, a Netflix dubbing agreement for Astro Girl, Chic, aka Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Eternal the movie, is listed as active approved. Interesting. Astro Girl, huh? Usually they just go with Sailor Moon as the name of the production. So that's kind of interesting. It'll be interesting to see who dubs that too. Recently, it's been LA who's been, through the Viz license, it's been dubbed out here, I think, in Studiopolis and Bang Zoom. The listed production company, the Best Ever Entertainment LLC, appears to be either a pseudonym for or dummy corporation related to Voice and Script International, VSI, a veteran dub production company who has worked extensively with Netflix. Series localized by the studio for the streaming giant include Japanese anime Agretsuko, the Icelandic drama The Valhalla Murders, and the Mexican supernatural television series Diablero. Interesting cat creature right there. One question prompted by the potential transfer of the property from Viz Media, the studio that produced the recent dub of Sailor Moon Crystal, to Netflix is whether the streaming giant will have the anime voice actors reprise their roles or replace them altogether. So it's another company altogether that's doing it. Interestingly, Usagi Tsukino voice actress Stephanie Shea recently posted a picture of herself wearing a Sailor Moon T-shirt while laying on the floor of my booth waiting to do my pickups for an unspecified series. Here's Stephanie right here, laying, yeah. Stephanie, of course, aside from being the voice of the Viz dub of Usagi Tsukino Sailor Moon in the Viz dub of Sailor Moon, she some of her other more well known roles include um, Hinata Hyuga Uzumaki from the Naruto franchise. She was Orihime Inoue in Bleach. Um, so those are at least a couple of the other work she's known for um, as well. Given the dub's current listing as active, if Shay were so hypothetically, um, oh wait, was as active, if Shay were to hypothetically be recording lines as Usagi, it could indicate the Sailor Moon Crystal voice cast will return. Of course, as cautioned by Sailor Moon News, this could simply be a coincidence, which is true. Plus, what you have to remember too is if here's another thing that and I don't know if they'll mention this further down in the article here, but usually most voice actors when they're contracted to do a work while they're in the process of recording said work are usually put under an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which basically means they can't say anything in regards to if they're working on it, they can't say anything at all about it. They can't say anything at all if they're working on it. They can neither confirm nor they can neither confirm nor deny that they're even working on it. That's how the NDA. I mean, they can't just specifically say, "Yeah, I am voicing this kid." They can't say anything about it, or they could get into some serious trouble. So the fact that she kind of posted a picture of herself in the Sailor Moon. Now, granted, as I said, it could just simply be a coincidence. It could be nothing. But if she was actually recording on it, that could get her into trouble. You know, well, people haven't said anything in a while there. Uh, I hope you guys are still listening. I haven't seen many comments from you guys, so in a while. Anyways, I'm going to go off camera here for a moment. Alrighty then. Guess we'll go on to the next couple of stories here. A couple of them right up top here. Um, wow, we're coming up on an hour here. It looks like. Yeah, so we're coming up on an hour already. Huh. Or actually, at an hour, in fact. Still here. I'm putting my new toys up. Hold on. Okay. I just was wondering because nobody had said anything in a while there, so wasn't sure what you guys were doing. Anyways, excuse me one more time. Sorry, gotta take care of something. Now we're up to 4 people. Yay, 4 people. Okay, so let's get to this next article. Um, a couple of comic articles we can go through too here. New details revealed about John Ridley's Orwellian Batman villains. This sounds like an interesting take. DC's future state is recasting the universe's top heroes come 2021 and leading the charge on the iconic Dark Knight. Dark Knight is 12 years a slave writer John Ridley, who, along with artist Nick Darrington, plans to revamp Gotham City as an Orwellian nanny state in the upcoming Future State, the next Batman series. Oh boy, okay, let's see what's going on here. In the recent DC Nation Presents DC Future State magazine special, Ridley discussed his desire to take Batman back to his roots, particularly in terms of his tech and various gadgets, and how he plans to take um, the Cape Crusader analog in face of advanced methods used by authorities to crack down on vigilantes in Gotham. It's really difficult to avoid technology and facial recognition, um, Ridley said. You have a Batman who has to operate in a space where the only advantage he can have is to be analog, likening the Batman in his story to a primitive human dropped into modern times. He added, "When you start removing those digital tools, you're like a caveman fighting computers." Yeah, but most cavemen would just take a big club and just go boom, 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 and just smash the computer to pieces. So, Leto's here. Hey, Mike, how goes it? Hello, Toys and Woody. Also, we'll be here listening, but driving to work. I kind of wish you'd come a little earlier because I was through a couple of interesting anime stories. Um, One where the Twit Brigade was added again, claiming Attack on Titan was anti-Semitic and fascist, and the other one being a Sailor Moon story about the release of the latest movie, Sailor Moon Eternal, the movie. So now we're on to this Batman story here. Hey, Leto. And of course, if you guys can remember to like and share the video, that will really help as well. Or we can see if we can get some more people in here. It looks like we may have 5 people now, so that's good. Um, See if we can get some more people in here, hopefully. Um, let's see. Oh, according to the magazine special Dark Knight's Death Metal #7, we'll have 2 epilogues, one of which will lead directly into the future state storyline, which will see a tragedy for Arkham Force Gotham Mayor Christopher Nakano to pass a zero tolerance policy for vigilantes and mass that single out the Bat family. So this Nakano guy sounds a little bit like J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man. To enforce it, the mayor will use every tool at his disposal, including the enlisting of well-armed and supplied secret police private army known as the Magistrate, a group which Ridley says are driven not by morality, not by law, but really one edict that all masks are bad. It really is a logical extension of what we've seen going on with Joker War, he explained. What happens when Gotham turns into a total battleground, when people start to think there are no good masks, they're all a threat, and potentially would lead to a potential civil war, basically. Ridley continued, when you have a city that decides to bring in a private security force, when they decide to turn law and order over to an outside entity, what does that mean? Well, these guys would be going in the opposite direction of to defund the police crowd. That much we know. I missed your stream, Leto. I got in to say hi, and the stream ended. Hey, anonymity. Hey, just got home. Going to make some food. All right. Well, I'm going through some stories here tonight, so just give me a moment. You're in time for this Batman story, but you missed an Attack on Titan story and a Sailor Moon story. So, what the story on Attack on Titan I was reading earlier was about they were suggesting that Attack on Titan was anti-Semitic and fascist, which I thought was kind of stupid. Uh, Anyways, back to this story now. Though the identity of the next Batman is currently unknown, Ridley has previously promised that the character will be of African American descended. Well, I think they meant descent, not descent. Descend, and will have ties to Lucius Fox. Whoever it might be, whether they be a young and fresh faced hero or a grizzled veteran, Ridley assured readers that the latest hero to take up the cowl would follow in Bruce Wayne's footsteps and use his physical skills and the cover of night to fight back against those who threaten Gotham. Yeah, I can see elements of Dark Knight Returns here being applied too. It really is rolling Batman back to being an individual who is so much about his wit, his guile, and his physical acumen, said Ridley. You definitely have to have a different strategy. You're outmanned, you're outgunned, and the only thing you can really do is go back to the original Batman. The shadows are your friend, he added. Night is your ally, the city is your background. In a city of justice, in a city of love, in a city of peace for every one of us. We all know it, can't live without it. Gotham City, oh yeah. In a city of justice, city of love, in a city of peace, every one of us. We all know it, can't live without it. A Gotham City, a Gotham City. Oh yeah. Anyways, let's see. They'll be doing that for years with Attack on Titan and SNK, or SNK. So yeah, well, I mean, I thought some of their reasoning was kind of those who are saying that it's fascist or anti-Semitic Attack on Titan. I think their reasoning's faulty. Uh, Anyways, back to this Batman article. On the flip side of this narrative coin is the magistrate themselves, whose goals and actions were teased by future state dark detective writer Mariko Tamaki, whose book will follow the exploits of Bruce Wayne himself, as he is both presumed dead and on the run from the totalitarian military group, a la The Dark Knight Returns. I think the magistrate wants a lot of things that are all helped by Batman being dead, noted Tamaki. You'd almost have to know who you were dealing with if you wanted to kill him, noted Tamaki. Um, and you'd have to have some pretty hefty resources at your disposal. Future State begins in January and will unfold over 2 months across various one shots, miniseries, and oversized anthologies. But upon their release, the motives and grand schemes of the magistrate and their leader, Peacekeeper One, are sure to be revealed. Are you excited for the new Batman? Who do you think is under the cowl? Let us know your thoughts on social media or in the comments down below. That's the end for that article. That was a pretty interesting article. Let's see. So, you guys, anything new there? No, I guess not. So, I guess we'll move on to the last story then here. Last main story I'll cover tonight here. IDW and Toho announced major Godzilla deal. Godzilla will be stomping back into comic books and graphic novels following the announcement of a major deal between IDW Publishing and Toho International Incorporated. I got to go off camera for just a moment. Be right back. Okay, so let's continue on with this article. Let's see. In a press release from IDW Publishing, they announced a partnership with Toho International Incorporated that will bring Godzilla and dozens of monsters from the Godzilla live action film to a wide selection of publications and merchandise. And here's some of the artwork, I guess, for it. And look, the kid's in front of the Godzilla monster right there. That one up front there. Yeah, let's go get him. A couple other kids down there. The deal will kick off beginning in spring of 2021, where Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, King Ghidorah, and dozens of kaiju will stomp their way across IDW's line of comic books, graphic novels, trade collections, art books, coloring books, journals, tabletop games, and puzzles. IDW publisher Nachi Marsham commented on the deal, stating, "We're very excited to work with Toho to build a comprehensive array of stories and products that Godzilla fans everywhere can enjoy." Marsham added, "Their library of characters are quite literally titans of pop culture, and we can't wait for people to get their hands on what we're creating in close partnership with Toho. There will truly be something for everyone, from casual fans to people who live and breathe these amazing creatures." Anyways, I gotta go off camera again, guys. Sorry. Kaiju! Yeah, alright. Yeah, that's what it is, kaiju. Anyways, back to the article here. Toho International Incorporated marketing director Laura Cohn also stated, "IDW has been such a fantastic partner in bringing Godzilla characters to life through high quality graphic storytelling, and we're excited to take our relationship to the next level." Cohn then added, "By expanding beyond comics with wide ranging books, games, and more, we're sure that our iconic kaiju will leave monstrous marks on these products that consumers across the globe, young and old, will never forget." IDW. IDW number one right here, Godzilla Legends. What a monster, isn't it? Featuring Anguirus. A press release claims IDW will have worldwide distribution for Toho's Godzilla comic book, graphic novel, gaming, and merchandise program, with the exception of some parts of Asia. The first project to come out of the deal will be a 5-issue miniseries from Eric Burnham, artist Dan Schoening, and colorist Luis Antonio Delgado. IDW claims the book will be aimed at middle grade readers and hit stores with its first issue in April. IDW issue 1, Godzilla Rage Across Time. Look at that cover art right there. Look at that wave about to crash on those ships. IDW Publishing previously had a licensing deal with Toho to publish comic books. That deal began back in March of 2011 with the launch of the 12-issue Godzilla Kingdom of the Monsters Maxi series. The first issue of the series featured 80 exclusive variant covers. Wow, 80 variant covers? Dang, they were really trying to push that thing, weren't they? Really trying to push and promote that thing, weren't they? 80 variant covers? Man, that's a lot of work. A lot of work. Ah, by 2016, IDW had published 10 Godzilla comic book series of varying length. The last Godzilla series was titled Godzilla Rage Across Time, which we saw above there, by Jeremy Robinson and art by Matt Frank, aka Robinson Frank. The series concluded with issue 5 in November 2016. Are you looking forward to more Godzilla content? IDW? I haven't been reading many of the recent comics. So I'd say no. Going to smoke with a neighbor. I'll be listening in the background. All right, yeah, we're almost done here tonight. And anyways, uh, so yeah, those were the four stories I was covering tonight, guys. Sorry that some of you ended up missing the first couple there because the Attack on Titan story was pretty interesting. Just looking at what the Twit Brigade's up to again. Some of their reasoning was pretty faulty in my opinion, but so anyways, guys, is there anything you guys want to ask about or talk about or anything like that? We're coming up on an hour and a half, so we'll probably be starting to wind down here pretty soon. And if you haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream, that would help with the algorithm. Of course, I always appreciate it. Let's see. Attack on Titan is a great show. Oh look, 5 viewers. Yeah, we're back up to 5 viewers. Yeah. It's been kind of shifting back and forth between 3 and 5 throughout the night here. Um, well, ATC, obviously you're a big fan of Attack on Titan, so I'll ask this again. I asked this earlier. I noticed you didn't say anything when I asked it earlier, so I'm going to ask it again here. Since you just acknowledged you watched the series, do you believe it to be anti-Semitic or fascist? As somebody who's watched, because I've watched it too, but as somebody else who's watched it, do you find Attack on Titan to be anti-Semitic or fascist? While I'm waiting for an answer, I'm going to go off camera for a quick sec here. Be right back. All right, let's see. Got a couple of you to respond here. AOT is about as fascist as Hitler was a Jewish supporter. Interesting way of putting it, anonymity. That's an interesting way of putting it. Attack on Titan is about as fascist as Hitler was a Jewish supporter. It's none of those. If anything, if anything, it's elitist. The government is run via a caste system. Those closer to the outside walls are viewed as garbage. And yeah, that's kind of true. That in fact, I'd say they're not only are they treated like garbage, but they're basically sacrificial lambs. The ones who are like on the outside more towards the walls. It's more of a way to show how human society devolves the moment all the tech is stripped away. Yeah, good point. That's another good point on that. One of the things I had, one of the other aspects I had talked about earlier when I was talking about the article, and you probably heard some of it, is that as I was reading the article and as I was reading the arguments that they were making, I was reminded of the old saying that history is written by the winners, or history is written by the victor. You know, in other words, basically, as I said earlier on a number of occasions, one person's war criminal is another person's national hero. Okay. So it depends upon how you look at it, but but in any case of war, prisoners of war, no matter what the reason for the war, whether it's over land, over resources, over survival, prisoners of war get treated like crap. That's the bottom line. That's war for you. That's not an anti-Jew thing. It's not an anti-Christian thing. It's not the only thing it's anti is an anti-human thing. Shaka when the walls fell. The Star Trek: The Next Generation reference. I remember that episode. Paul Winfield starred as that as the opposing as the other not Captain Picard, but his counterpart from the alien race they were trying to talk to there. Shaka when the walls fell. That was Paul Winfield, a very well-known, famous actor. Um, in the first episode, all the men from the outside wall who escaped where were sent out to sent out to die slash fight the Titans. An example of population control. Yeah, they were basically used as fodder. They were used as fodder. The term for that is fodder. At Tanagra. Yep, at Tanagra. Shaka when the walls fell. At Tanagra. Paul Winfield. The gates opened. Ah, little Star Trek Next Generation referencing there. All right. Let's see now. I'm just taking a breath here from. Laugh out loud. All right, guys. Well, are you guys ready for this day in each history? Because I think I'm about ready to wrap it up here. And of course, don't forget tomorrow night I'll have Batgoat on, and we'll be looking at April 1936. And as we continue the comic retrospective, I'll probably be focusing in on more fun number 10. You know, also looking at some of the other, briefly some of the other comics. There are like 4 comics produced that month. But other than that, are you guys ready for this day in each history? In 2005. Oh, we got 6 people in here now. Yay! Yeah. Ready. All right. So today being Thursday, December the 3rd, 2020. Let's take a look back on this day in Nietzsche history. Um, First off, I'm going to go back 20 years ago today, as we have a little bit of sadness from this point in time. On this date, 20 years ago today, American composer and music producer Hoyt Curtin passed away at the age of 78. Um, he was the primary musical director for the Hanna-Barbera animation studio from its beginnings with the Rough and Ready show in 1957 till his retirement in 1986, except from 65 to 1972 when the primary music director was Ted Nichols. So from its beginnings in 1957 through his retirement in 1986, Hoyt Curtin had served as the primary musical director for um, for for Hanna Barbera, which of course meant that he probably had a little bit to do with some of the Christmas songs that were written about for like Casper's First Christmas, Yogi's First Christmas, and the like. Let's see. History. Ready. You remember Rough and Ready? Old cartoon. I never watched it. It wasn't on the syndication when I was growing up. At least I didn't see it. I have kind of gone back and looked at some little bits here and there, but I I heard more about it when I was looking up old Saturday morning cartoon lineups. That's how I know of it myself. But I can still sing the whole intro jingle from the show. Yeah, the ones back in those days did have some good. But anyways, on this date 20 years ago today, Hoyt Curtin would pass away, the primary music director for Hanna Barbera from 1957 to 1986 when he retired. So moving on to the next piece of history, then we actually have a couple, I believe, from 2005 here. So first off, in the world of pro wrestling, from the indie circuit in 2005, on this date in 2005, on opposite ends of the country, um, out here in LA, Joey Ryan was defeating Kevin Steen for the PWG World Championship. Kevin Steen, some of you might know better as Kevin Owens in the WWE. So on this day, 15 years ago today, Joey Ryan would defeat him for the PWG World Heavyweight Championship. And then on the East Coast, for in New Jersey, the SAT, known as the Spanish Announce Team, Joel and Jose Maximo, who were regulars in the early days of TNA Impact, would defeat the Backseat Boys for the JPW Tag Team Championship. JPW was another hardcore type style wrestling promotion, much in the vein of ECW, XPW, CZW. Let's see, Extreme Championship Wrestling, Extreme Pro Wrestling, um, IWA Mid South. Um, let's see. So on this date, 15 years ago, Joey Ryan would defeat Kevin Steen for the PWG World Championship on the West Coast. On the East Coast, the Spanish announce team at the SAT of the Maximo brothers would defeat the Backseat Boys to win the Jersey All Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championship. Those are more, those of course are more independent promotions. You guys might not have heard about them as much, but but the independent promotions today are what the NWA territory has served back prior to the 80s. kind of place where guys can develop their craft. So, anyways, now 2005 is just so nice that we're gonna hit it twice. Well. Hello, Solid Redfield. I see you changed your name from unknown existence to Solid Redfield. Kind of in a little late, man. We're just about done with the show. But you can always go back and watch it again, because I keep streams up. But still be nice to see you here, with the rest of us live. So, but thank you for coming in anyway. Um, anyway, so getting on to the next piece of niche history here. On this date in 2005, the penultimate episode of D.I.C.E. Um, the penultimate episode of D.I.C.E. The Truth, premiered on Cartoon Network on this date in 2005. So on this date, 15 years ago today, the penultimate or second to last episode of D.I.C.E. would premiere on Cartoon Network. Let's see. Hello, Redfield. My avatar gave me away. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Um, just to let you know, since you just got here, Solid Redfield, you might want to come back tomorrow night because on Fridays, with Batgo as my co-host, I've been doing a comic retrospect. We'll be covering April of 1936, so you might want to come check that out, especially if you're into the comic side of things. Laugh out loud. So, anyways, so moving on to the next and last piece of niche history for tonight here. On this date, 6 years ago today. On this date, 6 years ago today, um, Image Comics would put out on the newsstands the 45th issue of Chew. So, on this date, 6 years ago today, the 45th issue of Chew from Image Comics went on sale on newsstands. So that covers all of the history topics today. I thank you guys all for joining me. And as always, I always appreciate the likes and the shares. See if we can get more people in here. And I hope you guys will be back tomorrow night. When I have Batgoat with me, we'll be going through April of 1936. In terms of comic retrospect. So I hope to see you guys then. And I shall bid you adieu and good night. And I will hopefully see you all and more tomorrow night. Bye.